Hi, my name is Nelly, and I'm the mother of three boys. I came to Canada in 1997, but moved into Mississauga in 2000.
Yeah, my name is Ted Lamb. I'm 81 now, did I mention that? No, and I live right here in Mississauga.
My name's Jasmine Albo. I'm 19 years old and I live in Meadowvale, Mississauga.
My name is Rugia Tubalde and my nickname is Rugi. Actually, it makes it easier for you to pronounce. I live in Mississauga.
Well, my name is Kat Krieger. I am 61 years old. 61 winters, I like to say.
Before I moved into Mississauga in 1999, I was diagnosed with leukemia, the CML. And that's kind of at age 36 at that time. So that started my medical journal. After today, June this year, I will celebrate my 18 years survivor. I'm still on medicine. I'm still the best of friends with the hospitals, the nurse.
Oh, I'm not doing marathons anymore. I did a few, my wife did also, and then I sort of cut back to half marathons, and I've now pretty much cut back to 5 and 10K races. I was never much of a distance runner in my youth anyway. I was a sprinter, and actually my specialty was pole vault. So I was more involved in speed than distance. And I've been thinking about getting back into it now because I'm into an age group now where there's not that much competition.
I grew up in a small town called Innisfil. I grew up in an abusive household, which was very hard. And then when I was 15 years old, my mother got sick with a very aggressive, unknown type of cancer. She lived for 4 months after that. I had the choice of living with my grandfather or living with my dad. And I chose to live with my grandfather until I was 16 and he kicked me out. I spent 10 months going from different places, different cities, families and friends, until I ended up homeless in Mississauga. I stayed at a youth shelter called Our Place Peel until I moved into Peel Youth Village. And I stayed there for 5 months until I got better housing. And I have not gone back.
When I pursued my education further and began to work within the technical world, I was also pursuing my cultural background. I happened to meet a traditional elder who actually asked me to become a helper, an apprentice. And within a short time I'd quit my day job and was focused solely on learning many of the traditional things that made up our culture.
When I started as a clinician, I worked with at Doctors Without Borders, where I was with refugees from Sierra Leone. But after 2 months, I really found health wasn't not only about a prescription or just coming to see a physician. And I put more importance in the health equity so that everybody can have equal access to the healthcare system.
I run my State Farm agency, have 5 staff. I personally experienced that 3 of my customers were all involved the last stage of their life. So I was calling in as the family support. We need to have open channel because the hospital and the community, we are in the same boat.
My work at the University of Toronto is to provide a resource for students, in particular, of course, the Indigenous students, and support and foster more of a home place for students, to encourage students into post-secondary education.
It's very hard for me to decide what I want to do about school. I still need to finish high school. I haven't gotten the chance to, so I'm hoping to go to college as a mature student. I want to be a child and youth worker and work with homeless youth, but that's also very difficult to do because I don't have my high school degree.
But it's good not to have to worry about your health all the time. You're going to have problems anyway, we all do.
There's 3 things that make a healthy person. That's healthy mind, healthy body, healthy spirit. I think those 3 things, when they're braided together and balanced, produce a person that's walking in a good way, walking strong.
You may think that you speak English, even you have the proficiency, but when it comes to your health, you are much comfortable speaking in your native language or the language that you learned first, because you connect to that emotionally. Health does not come only from one aspect, but it's a teamwork.
When I have a lot of support around me, when I have a safe place to go to, when I can get myself to get up and do regular things that people do, like showering, eating, socializing with my friends. It all becomes very difficult to do when you've gone through a lot of stuff. Even though life can get extremely frustrating and extremely hard, every downhill has an uphill. It always does get better, even when it feels like it's the end of the world, when it feels like you're not going to wake up the next day. You just have to breathe, and eventually you can turn all the bad stuff into something good.
My hopes for Mississauga as a city are pretty fundamental, based on a foundation of building relationships. There's a two-sided thing there. That means people have to be interested in somebody or something they have no knowledge of. And the other group or people that they're interested in need to share that interest in each other.